Okay.
He used to live, I said, no, maybe, I'm not sure which direction.
Well, good morning,
Oh, there's one right next door.
and
That
welcome.
that big
Oh.
blue building, cause out in front used to be a dentist office.
Uh-huh,
Oh, I gotta
Like I
let, I
said,
gotta
that
let
was
somebody
back
come in
sixties,
here.
uh-huh.
sixties and seventies, I
Oh.
went there in eighties.
Oh, I wasn't
Okay.
here then.
Oh,
Welcome
I
to
moved in 1995.
oh, okay,
Northern Lights Spiritual Center.
yeah.
Or, I'm sorry,
I
keep
live
forgetting our
over in
names
SeaTac,
Northern Lights
that's where
Center
I
for
came
Spiritual
from.
Living.
and now I live in North Period.
Reverend Vaughn, I'm doing this
I live
today
in
because
North
Reverend
Period
Vaughn is
now.
over
Oh.
speaking at
But,
Genesis
I
Center
came
for
from,
Spiritual Living. So
there's
it's kinda,
Reba.
we kinda,
Yeah, I came from
move around
the
a
other
bit.
end, SeaTac, the other side, just up from I-5. And so, like I said, that was my dentist for years,
Jeffrey?
and now it's all gone.
Jeffrey?
Hi,
Well,
Mark.
okay. Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living is a community of people dedicated to using spiritual and practical principles to create the lives we want to live.
Live.
And Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living offers practical and spiritual tools to make positive changes in our lives. And our promise statement is to reveal, inspire, uplift, celebrate, and magnify your greatness. We acknowledge our presence here on the traditional and unceded lands of the first people of Seattle, the Duwamish and the coastal Salish peoples. These people are still here, and we join with them in how they continue to honor and bring to light their ancient heritage. We seek to resist the erasure of indigenous histories as we work toward honoring and inviting the truth. And that is adapted from the Duwamish Tribal Land Acknowledgement. And also we like to do a labor acknowledgement. We must acknowledge that much of what we know of this country today, including its culture, economic growth, development throughout history and across time, has been made possible by the labor and enslaved Africans and their ascendants who suffer the horror of the transatlantic trafficking of their people, chattel slavery, and Jim Crow. We also name the Asian and Chicano people who toil with their recognition. We are indebted to their labor and their sacrifice, and we must acknowledge the tremors of that violence throughout the generations and the resulting impact that still can be felt and witnessed today. And today we have something different. We have, let somebody in here. We have Narayan and Janet. They are coming through the ethers as our musical guests, and they will be here August 18th for a concert. And this is first time we've had anything like this, so it's really, I think it's going to be phenomenal. Narayan and Janet used to be in Washington here, and then they migrated to beautiful, I think where there's more sun during the year, down in California. But once a year they make a journey up here to Washington and we do several concerts. So it'll be great to have them here. I love their enthusiasm, their energy, and their music. Because the enthusiasm and energy, I think, is what makes their music, what brings their music to life. And so we're going to go into, I'm going to share the screen so that they're bigger. Oh, except I gotta.
We can go with lyrics, and we'll get bigger later.
Yeah, I love lyrics.
Okay, I know what I gotta do. I'm sorry. I'm just a little. Oh, okay, the lyrics. Oh, okay. Never. Okay, folks. Here we are. This is what I guess I wanted to get there.
Yeah. Michael, I can't wait to get up there and give you a big hug.
Oh, well, thank you.
And big, huge hug.
Oh yeah, we're looking forward to it. You ready for the opener, everyone?
We're ready now. These are a little bit different words
Now we're
today
ready.
from what we
One
normally
like
see.
me.
Yeah,
And
so,
this is for Stephanie.
yeah.
In this very room. And we are just so pleased and honored to be here at Northern Lights Center for Spiritual Living. We're Narayan and Janet. We haven't met. We look forward to meeting you in August.
This is a great way to start the day. Oh, yeah,
Here we go.
oh, yeah. Here we go, everybody. In this very room, there's gathering of love for one man. In this very room, there's gathering of joy for one man. Quite enough hope, quite enough power to chase away the blues. Sweet spirit, this very room.
There's quite enough love for all of us. In this very room, there's quite enough joy for all of us. And there's quite enough hope, quite enough power to chase away the pain. Sweet spirit, it's another for all the world. In this very room, there's quite enough joy for all the world. There's quite enough hope, quite enough power to chase away the blues. Sweet spirit, in this very room.
Good morning again. This is a time we set aside each Sunday, a personal time, to settle ourselves in and to center our being. So I just invite us to find that wherever you are, if you're standing, sitting, laying down, just find that sweet spot that you can get where you can get as comfortable as possible. And allow yourself to just settle in and feel being part of what you are on. If you're standing, feel part of the earth that you're standing on. The floor, and the earth, and everything below it. For knowing that we are part of the universe, each and every one of us. And in this, I think we should take some nice, deep, cleansing breaths in. Breaths that when we take it in, that the oxygen feeds and nourishes each and every cell of our body. And as we release that carbon dioxide and all the things that our body doesn't need. So let us take a nice deep breath in and hold it and release. And it's okay to make audible sounds. It's just fine. So another nice deep breath in and release. Let's do it one more time. One more nice deep breath in. And hold it. And release. It's such a powerful thing to do. And so during this time, I just want to invite us to think back to a time when you thought you had everything lined up in your life. That everything was going to go just A, B, C, D, E, F, G. You know, just like that, just perfect. Then all of a sudden, maybe a little tsunami in your life happened. And the letters got all jumbled and mixed up. And you had to change the way that you were going to do these things. You had to rethink them. You had to change the way you thought in that process. And that is like in life. Something will happen a lot of times and we have to change our way of doing things. So just allow yourself to go back and imagine that. And what happened in that process that helped change your mind. So we'll just be still for a few moments while you contemplate. And ask yourself, did something better come out of this little tsunami that happened in your life? Did the things getting all jumbled up change your life for the better? Just remember that sometimes we have to take a detour because of some event or because we just changed our mind. Our mind is a powerful thing, extremely powerful. So just remember that sometimes it's not always bad to have to take a detour. It can be the best thing that ever happened, the most positive. And so as we set that aside, I invite you to come back to the room, come back to wherever you are, and open your eyes. Refreshed, revitalized, re-energized. And so today is the 5th Sunday of the month, and every 5th Sunday we get to enjoy our practitioner emeritus, Stephanie Scranton, and her. It seems like we're going to have a lot of energy today. Between Narayan and Janet and Stephanie, we're just going to be powered up. I already got goosebumps going on here. So I just want to introduce Stephanie Scranton. She's going to do her usual affirmation.
Yay.
Yay, you got it.
Good morning, all. How's everyone this morning?
Woo-hoo.
Great. Thank you guys all for being here. This is cool. Okay, so we're going to do our affirmation. And if you choose to, please stand. Even at home in Zoom land. I can see you too. I can see you sitting down. I'm not calling out any names, but you know who you are. Oh, yeah, there we go. Okay. Thank you very much. Yes, it was a loving request, not a demand. Wink, wink. Okay, so it's a call and response. So I will say a line and you will say it as well. And we're going to say it with feeling. Okay? Allow the words to resonate with you. And if they don't resonate, get them to resonate. Okay? Because they're powerful. Okay, here we go. God is the only power in my life.
God is the only power in my life.
In my life.
Ooh, yes. Nothing from without
Nothing from without
can touch the perfect life
can touch the perfect life
of God within me.
of God within me.
No past experience
No past experience
has power over me.
has power over me.
Now I want you to think of some of those past experiences. And I'm sure there are some that have power over you. That you're still living from. You know, that happened like 20 years ago. Say to it, no past experience
No past experience
has power over me.
has power over me.
Power over me.
I am a perfect child of God,
I am a perfect child of God,
and nothing that anyone has ever done or said
and nothing that anyone has ever done or said
can interfere with my divine inheritance.
can interfere with my divine inheritance.
The power of God
The power of God
is greater than any circumstance in my life.
is greater than any circumstance in my life.
So think of those circumstances that you have made greater than the power of God. And know that the power of God is greater. Okay? The strength of God
The strength of God
is mine to use.
is mine to use.
Mine to use.
Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy,
Turning away from all feelings of inadequacy,
I discover that all that I need
I discover that all that I need
is within me now.
is within me now.
So where is it?
Within me.
Within me. When?
Now.
Now. Okay. As I forgive the past,
As I forgive the past,
and I do forgive the past,
and I do forgive the past,
Forgive the past.
I find that I have nothing to be sorry for
I find that I have nothing to be sorry for,
To be sorry for.
and nothing to run away from.
and nothing to run away from.
Run away from.
Casting off the old me,
Casting off the old me,
The old me.
I discover my true self.
I discover my true self.
And so for these I statements, we're going to point to ourselves. I take dominion of my life.
I take dominion of my life.
Let's say that again. I take dominion in my life. Old habits have no power over me.
Old habits have no power over me.
Conditions have no power over me.
Conditions have no power over me.
And my fave,
Yeah.
personalities have no power over me.
Personalities have no power over me.
Think about those people that get on your last nerve. And say that they have no power over you.
There's
No
No
power.
power, no power.
I take dominion.
I take dominion.
I am whole.
I am whole.
I am strong.
I am strong.
I am complete.
I am complete.
I am complete.
Now and forevermore.
Now and forevermore.
Forevermore.
And so it is.
And so it is.
And seal it with a what? A yes.
Yes.
Oh no, you gotta get the body. You gotta get the body. I'm not
Yes.
okay. Yes.
Yes. Hey.
Thanks.
Woo. Okay, so now we're going to share our declaration. Oh, I forgot, okay. Maybe. Come on, baby. Oh, wait. Oh, there's a promise. Oh, there we go.
Uh-huh.
Okay, our declaration is,
You've been still standing.
oh, you can sit down.
Oh, yeah.
Be seated. Okay, here's our declaration. We are an expanding and loving community
Working in a field of infinite potential. Do we want to say once?
No. Did that help? No, that doesn't, okay.
No, we know it. Oh,
Okay, ready? Again.
We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential.
And one more time, we always do things in three.
We are an expanding and loving community working in a field of infinite potential.
I think we do that because it settles in us, because we hear it, we speak it, we read it, and so it is.
And 3
So
is
it
a
is.
powerful number.
It is. And now we have the reading somewhere. Aha, here it is. And our reading today comes from, it's the, somewhere here. Oh, I changed it, okay. It's from the chopra.com, and it's by Emily Holler. It's called How to Retrain, well, also retain your brain. Sometimes you gotta retain it in order to reframe it. How to retrain your brain, changing negative thinking into positive. Does the lens through which you view the world lay the groundwork for an optimistic or pessimistic attitude? Thinking patterns can be habitual, but with a little awareness and some time, you can replace negative thoughts with more positive. Both your biology and environment help to answer these questions. The nature versus the nurture has been debated for centuries, but many believe that the two be intricately interwoven. In other words, you are influenced by your genetic makeup as well as your environmental surroundings. The good news is that you don't have to feel victim to either one. You do have to say over which thoughts to pay attention to. It may not always feel like this is the case, since your thinking patterns become so habitual, but with a little awareness and some time, you can replace negative thoughts with more positive ones. Common thinking patterns. Negative thinking patterns can create unnecessary stress and anxiety. Amen to that. And pave the way for a bleak outlook on life. In his book, Feeling Good, the new mood therapy, Dr. David Burns outlines common negative thinking patterns and cognitive distortions as such. The all or nothing thinking. Thinking in terms of black and white or in extremes. You either act in a way that you label as perfect or as failure. I can't believe I ate a handful of potato chips. I've completely failed at my diet. I'm a complete and utter failure. I may as well eat the entire bag. Ooh, I don't know if anybody's done that. You can't eat just one. You can't eat just one. No. Overgeneralization. Inaccurately concluding that one unpleasant experience will lead to a negative future filled with many more of them. I really thought I had that job. Now I'll never land one and will be unemployed forever. Next one is magnification or I'm not going to butcher the word.
Castigating.
Catastrophizing.
That's it. It takes a village to support.
Yeah, I was reaching for that, but I haven't gotten there.
Yeah, where is that? Exaggerating negative details of an event and overemphasizing your own imperfections and fears, making things into a much bigger deal than they actually are. I don't know if anybody else has done that. I know I have. I fumble over my words, oh, thank you, in front of all those people. They must think I am the dumbest person on the planet. My boss is surely going to fire me over this. Then what will I do? Emotional reasoning. Believing that how you feel accurately represents the truth of your reality. I have felt so anxious and stressed out lately, which must mean my problems are pretty major and near impossible to overcome. The lovely should statements. Using should statements to motivate behavior when they ultimately leave you feeling pressured and frustrated. I should work out after eating that pizza. I should return all those work emails. I should eat healthy for the rest of the month. I should. Negative rumination. Continuously focusing on negative outcomes, leading to feelings of being stuck, anxious, and even depressed, and overthinking. Trying to think and plan for every possible scenario, especially attempting to contact that which is out, or to control that which is out of your control, in an effort to avoid pain and failure. How do we get yourself out of these negative thinking patterns and replace them with more useful thoughts? Here's 5 steps. First one is practice mindfulness. In order to adopt more positive thinking patterns, you must first become aware of your current ways of thinking. By cultivating mindfulness, you can acknowledge and identify the thinking patterns that have become habitual. Then decide whether or not to engage in them. Mindfulness creates a distance between yourself and your thoughts, allowing you to view yourself as separate from them. Incorporate mindfulness into your morning or evening routine, sitting quietly for a few minutes, and gradually longer in each practice. When a thought arises, instead of attaching yourself to it, simply redirect it to your breath. Number 2 is address your inner critic. That lovely creature. Your inner critic loves convincing you that things that simply aren't true are often making you feel pretty lousy about yourself. Think of the voice as someone separate from you. Challenge the lies it tries to feed you. Ask yourself, is that really true? Is there evidence to back that up? Another technique is to thank that inner voice for its input, but then to say, no thanks. I choose not to engage in those negative thoughts. Or you may prefer a shorter, more blunt response, such as, no, not now, or delete. Know your triggers. Certain people, situations, and circumstances may set into motion more negative thoughts, so it's important to be aware of them. Perhaps encounters with your boss or making important life decisions causes you to become overcritical of yourself and to question your self-worth. Then you're aware of your triggers. Or when you're aware of your triggers, you can prepare yourself and feel more in control of your thoughts versus falling back into old negative thinking patterns. It's always helpful to identify which cognitive disorders, such as the ones mentioned above, you tend to repeat the most. 4 is write it out. Putting feelings down on paper is a great way to not only unload your thoughts, but to learn more about them. Often you aren't aware of how negative your thoughts are. Negative thinking patterns become habitual over time, typically without you even noticing. By writing them down, you can more easily identify the areas that require your attention. You can also interrogate them once they are out on paper to see if they are accurate or have any bearing. If not, let them go or replace them with more positive thinking. Journaling in the morning, first thing after you wake, is the ideal time to transfer your stream of consciousness to paper. Recite a mantra. Reciting a mantra is a positive affirmation, or a positive affirmation is a great way to pull yourself out from under the negative thoughts and into the present moment. It can be recited when you are feeling negative, when you feel negativity creeping in, or multiple times throughout the day in order to get into the habit of focusing on it. Change your surroundings. Sometimes your thoughts can seem so loud that the best thing to do is to change your physical surroundings. Take a walk in nature, go for a run, or meet up with a friend. The point is to engage in something other than the negative cycle so that you can come back to the problem when you're in the clear headspace. Choose an activity or a location that you find enjoyable and you know will leave you feeling better. If you need the company of others, be sure to surround yourself with people who will encourage your physical or your positive thinking. Steer clear of the triggers. Negative thinking patterns, particularly when they've become habitual, can be hard to break. Patterns that have been in place for years won't be undone overnight. So it's essential to be compassionate and patient with yourself as you work through them. To be compassionate and patient with yourself. So practice, practice, practice. And so it is.
So it is.
And so now I think we have some music going on.
Wow, Michael, woo! Hello.
Did I hear you say don't throw yourself under the bus?
That too, yeah. That's not going to help. I'm going to turn you around there.
All right. Here's a song we just wrote.
I wrote the song just in time for the service because it matches.
Matches your part, yeah. One, two, three.
I'm not hearing her piano.
There we go.
Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment. Stuff. Get into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Get into alignment with the love stuff. Ready for a day of ease and flow. Everything is over, had to let it go. Drop into my heart where my emotions live. Looking for fun with a good energy is because I'm getting into alignment with the good stuff, with the love stuff. Getting into alignment with the love stuff. Pause, take a breath. Pause, take a breath. Pause, take a breath. Feel your toes in the sand. Yeah. Get into alignment. Feel it. With the love stuff. With the love stuff. Getting into alignment. With the love stuff. In the now moment, that's where I want to live. In the now moment, where my power is. If I get too mental and I feel the night, it's time to, you know it's time to drop. Get hard. Time to drop. the head to the heart. What the two components of the song? Ready to rendezvous with those who want to play. Sharing happy moments in the street. You play the melody, I will play the beat, because we're getting to a diner. With the good stuff, the love stuff, getting to a diner. With the love stuff. With the good stuff, with the love stuff, in the now moment. With the love stuff, just the path of least resistance, yeah. Good stuff, with the love stuff, on the path of least resistance. The love stuff, yeah, because we're getting to alignment. With the good stuff, the love stuff, getting to alignment. The love stuff.
Woo! Woo! Get in alignment. And on that note, I'm going to bring up the one that will get us into alignment.
Chiropractic practitioner.
Yeah, oh yeah, we can say
Chiropractic.
chiropractor.
Chiropractic.
Yeah,
Chiropractic.
spiritual chiropractor.
Chiropractitioner.
Okay.
Ooh, well, thank you for that. That was great. Boy, I feel like I can go back and sit down because I think the service is already done between the reading and the song. You know, I think we've said everything. However,
It's good to hear it again.
I think I will continue.
Yeah.
Yes. So I think you can kind of get the feeling about what we're going to talk about today. We're talking about getting into alignment. We're talking about the way we're thinking. Now, one of the things you probably have heard several times in this philosophy is change your thinking, change your thoughts. Okay? That's our premise. We stand on that. When I was going to my church in Oakland, Mark still attends, Reverend E would often say, that was the minister, that this is it's a simple philosophy, but not necessarily easy. There is a difference between simple and easy. The concept is simple. We all get it, right? It's not, I mean, it's like, you don't need a PhD to figure out that if I change my thoughts, things are going to change. Little more complicated on how to go about that. Now, when we think about thoughts, we can also call them mindsets. There are different mindsets that we can have. And we can fluctuate between the mindsets that we go through. I'm going to name a few of them and see which ones resonate. And when I was going through the list, there's 6 of them I'm going to talk about ever so briefly. I'm like, oh yeah, in that situation, I'm that mindset. In this situation, I'm that mindset. Now, there are 3 of them that we would look at as being more positive mindsets and 3 as the more negative mindsets. I think I do all 6. So, let's see where you fall.
Equal opportunist.
Yeah, equal opportunity. You got to give all the mindsets some time. The first one is scarcity. That scarcity mindset. There's not enough to go around for everyone. Okay? That one, there's just not enough. You ever think that you're not enough? There's not enough? The next one is the abundance mindset. I like this one. There's plenty to go around for everyone. Okay? The next one is that fixed mindset. You are who you are, and that's never going to change. Things are never going to change. This is how it's been. This is how it's going to be. Not a very growth-oriented mindset. The next one happens to be the growth mindset. And that's the one where you can learn and become a better you. The world can be better. All things can be better. The next is the victim mindset. No one's ever done that one.
Nope.
Where everyone and everything is against me. Oh, woe is me.
Yeah.
And then the hero mindset, where you can overcome whatever life throws at you. Any of those resonate for you?
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
And some more than others, and you find that they tend to be situational. At least I find that they are.
Mm-hmm.
And when I'm like, there's something bad has happened to me, or something I perceive as bad, I can go into that victim mindset. Oh, woe is me. Why is this happening to me? To me. The ways in which we can deal with this is through our mind. It's all about how we think about it. One time someone was talking about how, you got your foot stepped on and you're getting ready to turn around and tell that person off. And then you see that the person's blind. And then you're like, oh, okay, they didn't do that on purpose. They didn't mean to do that. Now, how quickly we changed our mindset because of how we perceive the situation. So it's about our perceptions. And so when we're looking at mindsets, when we're looking at thoughts, when we're looking at changing them, it's changing them for the better. Reverend Michael did in that wonderful reading ways in which we can change our mindsets. And why? Because it feels good. I mean, when you get down to it, because it feels good. And it makes the world a better place when we have a more positive mindset. Don't you feel better when you have a positive mindset? Doesn't life seem to be just great?
Awesome.
When you're in that oh, woe is me, or that negative mindset, it's heavy. It's really, at least I find it heavy. And so we want to shift. We want to change. But how? How do we do that? Reverend Michael gave us a lovely, was there 5 things on that list?
6.
6. Gave us 6 ways. Luckily, they're not the 6 ways that I came up with. I actually have 8.
Oh.
But they are, you can add them to the list. So you can add the ones that I have to the list. Now, 2 of the ones I'm not going to talk about, and this is not part of my 8, but you hear this all the time in this philosophy, and I don't feel that I need to beat it into your brains anymore. Meditation and affirmations, right?
Yeah.
You never heard those words before? I'm sure you've never heard them.
Never.
Never. But of course, those are ways in which to change your mindset. You get ahas. There's all kind of wonderful things. Now, affirmations within themselves aren't going to do anything if you don't have the power and the emotion behind them. Because they're just words. And it's our thoughts behind them that give them the power. Hence, changing the mindset. So the first one I'm going to mention is to ask why. And what I mean by that is when there's a situation that happens and you have a reaction, or there's something that's going on and you have a reaction, or you're feeling a certain way and you have a reaction, ask yourself why. And what this is doing is we're digging deep, we're getting underneath to the you as opposed to the external. A lot of times we want to live in the external world. If you ever got an email from Reverend Michael, either through the Northern Lights or a personal email, it ends with life is an inside job. And that's talking about we got to do the work inside and not focus on the external. The external is really showing you what you're feeling on the inside. Okay? So asking why. So for instance, let's say you don't want to go to a restaurant by yourself. And what you would do is you're like, well why? Well, a why might be because I don't want people to think I don't have any friends. Well, is that a true statement that you don't have any friends? Probably not. I mean, I'm thinking that we at least have one friend, right? I'm hoping. And if not, then, we need to talk. But that's not a true statement. And think, okay, so why? Why am I thinking that? Because when you go out and there are people by themselves at a restaurant, you don't necessarily think that they don't have any friends. It's like, oh, okay, they're dining alone. And so then you think, well, how can I get over this? Okay, since I've already determined that this is not a true statement, perhaps I need to go more often to a restaurant by myself. I remember I used to think that this was years ago. I mean, when I say years, I'm not going to tell you how many years, but it was years ago. I used to think going to the movie by yourself was the saddest thing. I would see people in movies and it's like, oh, wow, that is so sad. I feel so sorry for you that you have to go to the movies by yourself. And then I realized, well, you know what? There is nothing sad about that. I want to go see this movie. Maybe no one else wants to go see it, or I'm going at a time that they can't go. I can go to the movies by myself and have a good time. Because there's nobody trying to talk to me in the movie, which I do not like. If you've ever been in a movie with me, you know I do not talk to me during the movie. But the thing is, it's like changing the mindset. I had to change my mindset about going to the movies by myself. Because otherwise, I would have limited myself to those movies that I want to see. So ask why. Go deeper. Deeper, deeper. Pull back the layers. Okay, the next one is step out of your comfort zone. So a lot of us like to live in a vacuum, kind of live, do the same thing the same way all the time. When you go to the grocery store, let's say, do you go the same way? Pretty much, yeah. Coming here, when I come to church, I come the same way. Today I noticed, I said, oh, there's a Fred Meyer right there. I wonder what would happen if I turn right here. So it's stepping out of your comfort zone, doing something different. It gets you to see the world differently. It gets you to be different in the world. It exposes you to the infinite possibilities because there are a lot of things out here that we don't know about. That's one of the things that, encouraging people to travel. Because you can see how other cultures live, how the other cultures think. It's interesting to think about how small we make our worlds at times. When I lived in the Bay Area, when I lived in Oakland, there were people in Oakland that had never been to San Francisco. Now, for those of you who have never been to California, or you don't know what the distance is, and you're a Seattleite, that's like going from Seattle to Bellevue.
Across the bridge.
Right, it's crossing the bridge.
Yeah.
But there were literally people that never had gone. I remember, and I worked in San Ramon, which was a little further east than Oakland. And I remember someone asking me, oh, where do you go shopping, for your clothes? And I said, well, I go to the city. This was before the internet. So I'll go to San Francisco. And they're like, oh, wow. I'm going to have to plan, we're going to have to plan a trip over there. And I'm thinking, plan a trip? It's just a little ways. And Mark knows what I'm talking about. He knows how far San Francisco is from San Ramon. You don't have to plan. I'm thinking to myself, I just get in my car and I go.
Yeah.
But okay, you got to do you. But it's stepping out of your comfort zone. So I'm going to implore everyone here, and tell your friends too, to do something different every day. When? Every day. Something new. It will get your mind thinking differently. I remember telling the people at work, I said, yeah, sometimes I'm just driving down the street and I'm like, I wonder what's down that way. And I'll turn down that way. Now, it might be interesting or it might not be. But I did it anyway. And one of my coworkers, he's like, oh, why would you do that?
It's fun.
It's like I want to discover something new. Get that curiosity going. Do something different. Okay, so you got your first bit of life work. So for those of you who don't know me, I give what I like to call life work. It's less, I think it's less daunting than homework.
Yeah.
Homework kind of has a bad feel to it. Anyway, for me anyway. The next one, the third way, is to eliminate the excuses and create solutions. And one of the ways is to eliminate the but. Okay? Sometimes we put that little word, it's only 3 letters, but it has such power. I'm gonna start eating right, but I don't have a lot of money, and that organic food costs a lot. Or I want to start exercising, but I don't have the time. That but. So we're going to eliminate everything after or before the but. Eliminate all of that. And eliminate the excuses. I didn't do it because blah, 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 blah. At the end of the day, you just didn't do it. Okay? And I think I shared this with you about Reverend E. I know I shared this in the talk, but I'm going to say it again. When she, what was that? What is it? Esther, some of those, yeah.
Landmark?
Landmark, thank you.
Ah.
Landmark. When she was doing Landmark, she was late.
Oh.
And the thing is that Landmark, one of the things, I've never done it, but I know there are people in the room and people out there that have done it. You were not late.
No.
And so she was late. And of course they called her out. And it was like, and she had an excuse, whatever, the bridge, something happened on the bridge. And the instructor's like, well, if your child was dying from something, would you have gotten them to the hospital? And would you have found a way to get there? And she's like, yes. And they were giving all these scenarios as to tell her that, yes, there is a way for you to do this, but you're making excuses. And so let's get over the excuses. Yesterday we had a mastermind accountability group that we're here that everyone's invited to. It's a physical group, and we meet here at the church. And one of the things I had asked for, we do prayer requests and we do prayer in there. And I had asked, so I'm starting a business for my babies, my infant and toddler business, clothing business. And I haven't done a whole lot since I had a lot of energy around it at the beginning, and I was doing a whole lot. And then when I started working for someone other than myself, it fell off, the amount of work I was doing on Lily and Sassy, which is my baby. And in the prayer, so my prayer request was that I'm energetic and excited about working on my business. And that I actually do. And so in the prayer, the person brought up, and they know me, it's a friend of mine, she brought up that I have committed to exercising every day. And that same commitment that I give to my exercise to give to my business.
Yeah.
And I hadn't thought about it that way. I have been exercising every day for almost 3 years. I'm talking about every day. Even when I travel, I will exercise wherever I happen to be. And so the thought was, oh, yeah, I do that. So it's not a matter of me not having time, because I make the time to exercise. And I do it in the morning. So my thought was, okay, I need to get up a half hour earlier, which is still not unreasonable for me. Anything before 6 is unreasonable. I just want to So, but I get up at 6:30 now, so I'm like, I can get up at 6, and I can work a half hour on my business. And that's a half hour more every day than what I normally do. I got to get rid of the excuses. This time was really not an excuse. The next one is to let go of the need to be a masochist. And I'm not talking about sexually, okay? So if you think I'm going there, that's not where I'm going. You can still do that if you want to. But I'm talking about the way in which we approach life. And that is that, oh, woe is me, just wallowing in the misery. Now, I know Victor has a pig. He has a farm, if anyone doesn't know. And I'm sure the pig, does the pig like to wallow in the mud and do all that? Okay.
Yeah.
So that's what some of us do in our misery. That term, misery loves company, is that because it's like, oh, I'm so miserable. I want to share with you so you can be miserable with me. And then we can all be miserable because that will give me a reason to be miserable.
Amen.
Now, we know what life does. Whatever you put out, you get back, right? So if you're going to be miserable and that's what you're putting out in the world, you get more misery. But that means you get to get more things to be miserable about. And that's not a pleasant thing. At least not for me. And so let go of those tendencies. Don't wallow in it. Stop punishing yourself. Some of us feel like, oh, I'm so religious. Because I know in some religions, that the suffering is a good thing.
Self-flagellation.
Yes, I'm going to beat myself up because, and doesn't that make me holy? Aren't I good? Look how much I'm suffering. No! I think that's insanity. Who likes to suffer? It's very painful and I'm adverse to pain. Okay, so we're going to let that go, right? Yes. Change your thoughts is the next one. Change your thoughts by counting your joys and blessings. We've heard this before. It's about being in gratitude. We have so much to be grateful for. And if you can't think of anything, we need to talk. The simple fact that we each woke up this morning, did anyone not wake up this morning? Okay, if you're here, you woke up. And so that's something to be grateful for. And Reverend E liked to say, I woke up in my right mind. Now, sometimes I have to question that, it's like, okay. But I woke up with some kind of mind, and, it's going to get me through the day. But you woke up. Now, if you're on Zoom, I'm assuming you have a computer or a phone or some kind of device. That's something to be grateful for. For those of us in the room, the bus doesn't come up here on the weekends, so we had some kind of transportation, which I'm thinking was a car. What's that? You walked?
Walked from the parking lot.
Oh, Jeffrey, please. Okay, but that is something to be thankful. Jeffrey walked from the parking lot in here, which I think we all did.
Yeah.
Although it would have been nice to have been carried, but no, I was not.
I like to float in.
You
I want
floated in, I
floating.
glided
want
in.
floating.
But we always have something to be grateful for. So count your blessings. Focus on what you have and not what you don't have. Because some of us are so focused on what we don't have that we miss all that's happening, all the goodness that is happening right here and right now. So count your blessings and joys now. The next one is a fun one. Allow yourself to be playful and childlike. If you've ever noticed children, they are having the time of their life. They are just laughing and playing and just having a great time. Now, if you've noticed that sometimes they fall out with their friends, right? 2 seconds later, they're playing with them again. Whatever it was, you know, they took my toy. I got my toy back. I'm good. Let's play.
Yeah.
Okay? They don't hold on to anything. In the scripture, they say, become like little children. You can't let the stuff just bother you. I also think it's interesting how we learn this behavior. I don't know if you've ever seen a child that, like, they've fallen, and they kind of turn around to see if mom and dad saw them fall.
Yeah.
Now, if they notice that mom and dad saw them fall, then all hell breaks loose. Okay? The crying, all that happens, right?
Yep.
But if no one's looking at them, they just get up and go on about their business. It's a mindset, right?
Yeah.
So we do the same thing. We're just big kids. And so it's changed, but becoming like little children and brushing that stuff off, not holding on to the stuff. Because it's not for you to hang on to. Okay. Number 7. Be happy now. Do not put it off. Be happy now. Not when you win the lottery, although I'll be very happy when that happens. But that doesn't mean to not be happy now. Be happy now. I believe God placed us here to be happy and not to postpone our happiness. Now, the thing that I tried this, I'm going to tell you what it is in a moment, is to postpone your sadness or your sorrow. When I saw that, I said, that's a novel idea, to postpone it. Now, and what happens when you postpone it is you either forget about it or you no longer want to do that. So I tried this last night. I was starting to feel a little sad. And I said, I'm going to postpone that sadness till tomorrow at this time. And we haven't gotten to tomorrow at this time because that was like at 10:40 last night. But I know that I'm not feeling that sadness right now. And so I'm not going to go pick it up. One of the things Reverend Mike always says, like not always says, but in meditation sometimes, to leave whatever's happened at the door, but then you can go pick it up. Well, you have a choice of if you're going to go pick it up. And so if you postpone your sorrow, postpone your anger, how would that be?
That would be
Postponing your anger. Okay, I'm going to give it 24 hours, and if I feel like being angry in 24 hours around this thing that's happening right now, I can.
I like that.
Okay? So postponing the sorrow, but not postponing the joy, not postponing the happiness. Be in that now. And then number 8, going along with that, is to wake up and resolve to stay happy during the whole day. Not part of the day, but the whole day. Ooh, how novel would that be? To just be happy the whole day. And then wake up and repeat. And then wake up the next morning and repeat. You would have a string of happiness. And it would be contagious.
Yeah.
I was sharing with Victor yesterday, it was a time when I was going to go to New York. And I didn't have a whole lot of money at that moment. And I had found a really inexpensive ticket for $205 to go to New York, round trip. That wasn't one way, that was round trip. So I thought that was really good. But it was like having a place to stay. And so I think I emailed or called a friend, my friend in New York, to see if I could stay with them. And anyone that's been to New York knows how expensive New York is. For a hotel that's cheap, you don't want to stay there. Because I don't want to stay there. And so I hadn't heard from them. I hadn't heard yay or nay. And I think I contacted them again, but hadn't heard from them. I was supposed to be leaving for the airport at 12:30 that day. It's now 10 o'clock, and I have a plane ticket, but I have no place to stay. So it's like, what am I going to do? I decided, I said, you know what, I'm going to step out there on faith and know that God is supporting me in this. And at 10:30, I got a phone call from my friend saying, we didn't get the message. We just happened to hear it now. And sure, come on. My energy, my vibration went up sky high. Because there was this trust, this faith that I had that the universe was going to support me. Because it's like, I could forfeit the ticket, but that was $205 that I could use elsewhere. I could go to New York and just kind of hang out in the airport for 4 days and call that home for those days. But that didn't sound especially exciting. But it was like, I'm not going to cancel. I'm not going to, I'm just going to just allow Spirit to trust. Now, I have to tell you, vibration was soaring. Some of you may know that New York can be a place where people aren't as friendly. I actually, those are my folks, but that might speak more to who I am. But they, not always the people that will speak to you and talk to you. I had people talking to me in the subway. I had people talking to me in places that normally they would never say anything to me. Because my energy was so high, it was just, people wanted to be in my space. And that's what the joy and the happiness will do. And what you can do is, if you're consistent with it, and we were talking about this in our prosperity class about being consistent, and I thank all of you that are taking it for your consistency in your practice. But what that does is build and build and build till you can have that vibration, that energy like I had when I went to New York. Now, I didn't maintain it, unfortunately. After about 2 days, it went away. But, I'm figuring out ways in which I can keep that vibration high. Because that's what we want. We want the vibration to be high, because when our vibration is high, we feel good. Others around us feel good. You ever walk into a room and you're like, ooh, there's some good stuff happening in here. But you can't see anything happening, but it feels good. In contrast, you walked into the room, you're like, ooh, this energy is funky.
Amen.
And I need to maybe I'll go back out and do something different. And so we want to keep that high energy. That lovely energy that people want to just be with you. And you be like Jesus where, just if I could just touch the robe, I'm gonna get some of that. You know that whole thing that the blind man, if I can just touch the garment. And so that's what I'm talking about, being in that kind of joy. So, life work. What's our first bit of life work? Anybody remember? Anybody?
Step out of the comfort zone as well.
Yes, that's our first bit of life work, to step out of your comfort zone. Do something new every day. Thank you, Reverend Michael.
See, I was listening.
You were listening. So, and then I'm wanting you to pull some of these out. And stepping out of your comfort zone was our second one, but I'm going to run through them real quickly so that you can, if you didn't have a chance to jot them down, now you do. The first one is to ask why. The next one is to step out of your comfort zone. The third is to eliminate the excuses. Fourth is to let go of the need to be a masochist. 5 is to change your thoughts by counting your joys and blessings. 6, allow yourself to be playful and childlike. 7, be happy now. And then I'm going to add on that, postpone the sadness, the sorrow, all that goes together. And 8, to wake up and be happy when? All day. Okay? And I would say, in addition to stepping out of your comfort zone, because that's what we're going to do every day, pick one of these to do every day. And that will help change your mindset, along with the list that Reverend Michael had, and along with the song that we have to get into alignment, because what this is going to do is to get you into alignment with the flow, because you're never out of the flow, you just think you're out of it.
Amen.
Okay? So, agreed? Yes?
Yes. Yes.
And so it is.
And so it is.
Thanks.
Amen. Hallelujah. I love the hallelujah.
Oops, I'm taking music.
Oh. Thank you, Stephanie.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Reverend Stephanie. On fire. Yeah, those are, this seems so easy.
Yes.
When you look at them and say them and whatever, just so easy. The one I like, because the one about being masochist, in other words, get off the pity pot.
Yes.
Once a little time in the pity pot's fine, but to allow it to grow to your bottom, that's not good.
Yes.
So yeah, all these steps are, they're easy, and like you said, this philosophy is easy, or not easy, but it's what is it, simple?
It's simple, but not necessarily
sometimes
easy.
not easy. And who makes it not easy?
We do.
We do.
Yeah.
So there. And now I believe we have a song. Am I correct? I'm good.
It's a song.
Good. I gotta try something different here. Now I can get out of this.
I gotta say,
Holy cow.
we're just hearing Stephanie for the first time, but we're fans.
Oh, well, thank you. Thank you.
That was great.
Thank you.
All right, let us know when to start there, Michael.
Yeah, I'm trying to.
What are you trying to do?
I'm trying to get them full screen.
Oh, that's okay.
We did that on the other one.
Yeah.
You click on them.
I don't do full screen until about 5 in the afternoon.
Okay.
Hey, but we're trying something different today.
That was cute, wasn't it? I'm just kidding.
Because if you put it in speaker mode, right?
I get a full screen
Yeah, I'm trying to get.
But it's okay.
Just do what you did last
Yeah.
time, put it
Speaker mode.
Put it
Yeah,
on
put
there.
it, if you put it in the speaker mode, as far as the display.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think everybody sets their own
Up here.
view.
So if you go up here,
I'm gonna count my blessings.
okay, I don't know where it is
I don't know
right
what I
there.
did.
Okay, but anyway, just do, let's just hear some
So we
music.
should go for it? You want us to go for it?
Yes.
Okay, we're gonna go
Oh,
for it.
okay, there.
All right.
Just,
Hi, everybody, we're back.
man,
We're back.
I cannot wait to get up there and hang out with you guys. Jeez, you're more fun than...
We're more fun than a barrel of
It was
monkeys.
fun. What?
We're more fun than a barrel of
From our
monkeys.
New World Family album, and it's called
There.
New Life.
Is that okay, everybody?
Yeah.
You got the rest of the
Yeah, you got the other screen in the
Well,
middle now.
screen.
Okay.
Yeah, I got something new. I got something true. Are you with me?
There.
I'm with it.
All right, here we go. Well, I got a new perception of all these things I've learned, and it's time for application. Application. New life. New life. New life. New life. Well, I read the autobiography of the Yogi and fell down at the library. That means he wants me to read it. He said, if your life ain't going the way that you want it, here's a couple of steps you can change it. Step inside the open light and a quiet mind. Feel alive. Send out peaceful vibes, let compassion rise. Wrap yourself in love. Wrap yourself in love. Step inside to your light and a quiet mind. Feel alive. Send out peaceful vibes, let compassion rise. Wrap yourself in love. Wrap yourself in love. Step inside your light and a quiet mind. Send out peaceful vibes, let compassion rise. Wrap yourself in love. Wrap yourself in love.
Woo-hoo.
Woo.
Thank you. And at this time, I'm gonna ask Jeffrey to pass this around. The offering, we have bills to pay here. And, in order to stay here, that's nice. Or I personally am grateful for everything that we have been given. We've been given a space, we've been given, lights and heat and all that, and we've been given life. And I give thanks for this sacred ground that we were sitting or standing on, because we make it that way. We come in with the intention that this is a sacred space, and that we create it wherever we go. We create our own sacred space, and I'm grateful for that. I'm grateful for each and every individual that has ever walked through this doors or the other doors, or online. We had to do service online for a couple months, but whatever way you get here, I'm grateful for. And so, with that, I just want to say thank you for everyone who's ever participated, has ever given their time, their tithes, their talent, because they're all important. All of these things are important. When you give from the heart, that's the place to give from. And I remember that place in the Bible where they were, kind of down on this woman that only gave 3 pence or something like that. And I think it was Jesus or whatever, somebody said, it's not the amount, it's where it comes from. It's where it comes from the heart. And that's not just with money or anything. That's with your talent and your giving to others. I know there's people in this room that have done that, and it's one thing. It makes you feel good. To me, it lightens up my heart, because if I can do something, not to get praise back or anything, but just to do it for someone. And so, we're continuing with our prosperity class this Wednesday. And next month, oh my God, August is in 2 days. Whoa.
Yeah.
Where'd that go? Anyway, we're having our picnic on August 12th from 11 to 3 at the Seahurst Park, which is just over there. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I got my directions.
Yeah, you're right.
Whoa, that's awesome. And then we have a concert with these two lovely individuals on August 18th. We're going to bring down the house. And then we're planning that boat trip. I don't think we decided the date.
We didn't, but it's September.
The 9th or 16th of September. Let's see, is there anything else? Anything else that I can think of? Get the brain going. I've written stuff down so that I remember. Otherwise, I'll remember when I walk over there. I say, oh, I should have said this. But I just want to again say I'm grateful for you two here. It's awesome to have you present by way of Zoom. And I really look forward to the 18th. I'm not nervous at all about it. I'm excited. And I allow myself to state that it is time to have what Stephanie said. I think fun.
Yeah.
And be happy and joyful and play. God, all those things. Just imagine.
We're going to have it be a dance concert.
Yeah.
Oh.
Dancing, concerting, everything.
Okay.
Everything.
All
Get
right.
some exercise in. Stephanie can come in and dance for half an hour.
Well, that could be my exercise for the day.
Yeah, that'll be, you can skip the morning one. Okay, and so
we have one more song.
I believe we have one more song.
Yeah.
This is kind of the theme of the concert
Yes.
song. Round you go, and here we go.
This has just been a blast.
I like this song. We've used this song a few times.
Every snowflake has a different shape. Every raindrop has a path to take. Every diamond has a different shine. Every atom in it self-divine. Be authentic, be alive. Listen to your heart inside. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Too much conformity can make you choke.
Every painter has a different stroke. You got a calling, it's time to seek.
Why creation made us all unique. Be authentic, be alive. Listen to that little voice inside. Be yourself, be yourself, be yourself. Be yourself, be yourself. In the guidance gonna make you sing and be connected with everything. Love and joy, you cannot miss. Be yourself and follow your bliss. yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Oh yeah. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Yeah, 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 yeah. Be yourself. Be yourself. Be yourself. Yeah, yeah. Be yourself.